everybody, we're back! Which is good, because if you haven't caught this cold that's been going around yet, you're very lucky. It is the worst cold. It lasted like 2 weeks, and I couldn't do anything except play games, which wasn't actually that bad. But I felt like the plague, and that was not fun. While I was out sick, I ended up getting my new Windows laptop in, which means that I can play Windows games like Rift and Neverwinter, which I've been wanting to play for like a year, and I couldn't, and now I can, except I can't play Rift still because there's this bug where it just sort of flashes a lot, and then it doesn't do anything in what I'm assuming is the character screen. But I can play Neverwinter, and Neverwinter works really well, and it's so awesome. And I've only been wanting to play Neverwinter for a year since I played it at PAX East, and yeah, it's amazing. And it takes place in Dungeons and Dragons. There's Neverwinter, there's Waterdeep, there's all of the places in Dungeons and Dragons. When you start, you basically end up rolling a character, except it's guided and there's less paper and math. I don't know if the intro storyline is different depending on what your backstory is, but I had to kill a bunch of zombies to get to Neverwinter, and then I'm in Neverwinter, and I had to save the crown, but I didn't. I was really close, and then the people stole the crown and got away, and then I had to go to the Blackwater, which is the sketchy part of Neverwinter, and find some clues from one of the people who we think maybe stole the crown, and then go to their secret lair, and then confront them, and still they didn't have the crown. Someone else has it. So I'm still trying to fucking find the crown. I don't know why the crown is important, but it is for some reason. It's a special crown. There was purple glowy magic around it, so it's obviously important. I really, really, really enjoy it. It's nice to, I don't know, after watching the D&D sessions with Chris Perkins, I found I recognize a lot of places and a lot of the NPCs. Neverwinter is an NPC that is referenced in Neverwinter, which I suppose actually makes sense. But it's nice, it's weirdly recognizable, which is exciting and fun, and I haven't stumbled across any giant robots yet, but I'm hoping. But yeah, the other thing that I like about it, besides it's just fun and awesome, the combat is actually really interesting. When I played World of Warcraft, I had my keystrokes, basically set up so anytime I came across any enemy, I just pushed the same numbers in the same order, and if doing it one time didn't work, I just start the sequence over again until it finally took and killed the dude. And it was really boring, and it didn't take any thought. It was just okay, I know what these spells do, I have them in X order, I push them. But in Neverwinter, you're focused on the combat because you're actually clicking to fight, and different mouse buttons do different things. So the right mouse button for mine, which I'm some kind of warrior swordsman, and so the right button on the mouse does this really cool spell where I basically cut people in half, and then the left one is just normal parrying, and then there's your keyboard commands too. So Q, if I hit Q, this gives me this cool thing where I spin around with my sword and deal damage to everyone who's around me at the same time. And then there's they have the power spells and daily spells, and you have to build up a certain amount of power before you can use these spells. And it's really interesting, and you actually stay focused also because you are pointing with your mouse at who you want to hit and kill and stuff, and your mouse is the camera, and so it's really, really interactive on a way that a lot of other MMOs are not. And it actually, instead of combat being the most boring part of the game, it's actually very interesting. And it's actually weirdly enjoyable. Not that, like, killing things in WoW wasn't enjoyable, but Neverwinter is just, it's a lot more focused and interesting. And the way they orchestrate the story is interesting, too, because there's, like, this arcing quest line, and I don't know how long it goes because I'm only, like, level 6. But there's also a bunch of side quests that you can do if you want to. I did this thing where I went and I found all the scrying orbs in, like, this one section of Neverwinter. Yeah, and it's set up really well, and the combat is handled so it's not something that you're just like, oh, more combat, this is really boring. And it's really fun, and I love it, and you should check it out, and because it's awesome.